Hey, Dave here for Joe Sports. With old man winter outside and you guys planning all your winter activities, I thought it'd be a good day to talk about winter gloves. When you're trying to choose your winter gloves, the first thing you might want to look at is what type of insulation you're going to use. You have options with down, which are super lightweight and extremely warm, although they're not that great for wet environments. So if you're out ice fishing all day, they may not be the choice for you, but if you're out playing with the kids, out tobogganing, it's a really warm glove, but very light. The other choice of insulation is synthetic, and it's called Primaloft. The reason why we go with Primaloft is probably the best synthetic insulation that's as close to down, but even if it gets wet, it still retains its heat. Another important factor when you're trying to choose your glove or mitts is to make sure that they're waterproof. There's different types of doing that. One of the best is Gore-Tex. We always try and find as many gloves as we can, or mitts, that have the Gore-Tex membrane. That way they don't ever have to be treated. It's going to be breathable, so if your hand's sweating, the moisture can get out, but the water can't get in. Another great company that does that is Columbia. They use a different brand. It's called OutDry, but have been very effective in blocking moisture and water from getting inside, but again allowing that sweat from your hands to get out. If your hands are dry, they're going to stay a lot warmer. A lot of people debate back and forth, well, should I go with a mitt or should I go with a glove? That decision comes down to your dexterity and how much dexterity you need. With the gloves, you definitely have a lot more use of your fingers and being able to pick things up, great for ice fishing. However, you do sacrifice a little bit of warmth as compared to a mitt, because the mitt's warming your whole hand together, whereas the gloves are heating individual fingers. So again, if warmth is your primary concern, I would go with a mitt. If dexterity is more of a concern, then I'd go with the glove. Now with gloves, they've come a long way. One of the things that I've been really impressed with over the last couple of years is the fact that they're coming in 2-part series. So when you buy a glove, some of them now have a built-in liner that you can take your glove off. You still have the dexterity and the warmth of using a liner, and you have the option of wearing the glove by itself, which is insulated, so on those warmer days, and on those colder days, you have the option of putting the liner inside with it. It's amazing what a little liner can do. One of my favorite ones is the wool liners. These guys here are very thin, so they don't feel snug inside. Still got lots of room for air around your fingers, but they add at least 10 degrees to whatever glove you're gonna have. If you have mitts at home that you find are just not keeping up, sometimes you don't have to buy a whole new set of gloves. Come in and buy a thin set of wool liners, and that will make a huge difference. Also with the liners nowadays and some of the liner gloves, the technology's changed. Everybody seems to have smartphones these days, but again, when it's cold outside, you don't want to be taking your gloves off to be texting. They've put touch tech now on a lot of the liners themselves, and so that you can literally do your texting or send emails without having to take your gloves off, which in Canada and our long winters comes in handy. And for the guys and girls that are out hitting the trails on the snowmobile, another thing you guys want to look forward to is durability. You don't want to be replacing your gloves and mitts all the time. Lots of wear and tear on the handles. In that case, I'd recommend going with a leather glove or mitt. They're going to have the waterproofness. They're going to be warm. They usually come with 2 sets of liners, and again, it has that durability to last through the abuse you guys are going to put them through. And last but not least, for the people who just cannot seem to keep their hands warm, no matter what they try, they do have electric gloves and mitts out nowadays. They've come a long way with the new lithium-ion batteries. They're very small, lightweight, minimal amount of wiring inside, and they do an excellent job of keeping your hands warm when nothing else seems to work. So stay warm, stay dry, and have fun outside. It's Dave from Joe Sports and Surplus reporting for Go Sault Ste. Marie.